They got fined 50 quid, and Clough took the 50 quid out of my way. Barbara's irons buggered. He says, if you don't mend it, you ain't playing Saturday. Turned round and said to the lads, thank you for the best 10 days of my life that you've just given me. See you on Monday. And he goes, where do you think you're going? So he goes, I'm going home. Where's home? I said, I live in Barnsley. He said, my house tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, bring your boots, and it would help if you bring your gloves as well. So I've gone to his house, not knowing what's happening, with my boots and gloves, thinking, why am I here, what am I doing? Yeah. And his wife, Barbara, answers the door. She said, come on in, and Brian's upstairs, he'll be down. So Brian Clough comes in the kitchen in his house, and he said, thank you for agreeing to play for Simon's team this morning. They haven't got a goalkeeper, and I thought you'd do. And the team got fined, a record fine for playing a ringer, which was me. They got the points taken off them. They got fined 50 quid, and Clough took the 50 quid out of my way.
No way.
He made me pay the fine. When Piercy played non-league, he was an electrician by trade, and he used to get an advert in the programme. Stuart Piercy, electrician, and the gaffer spotted it, like, and he. So he's obviously thought about it, and one day he's walked in with a shopping bag and put the bag down and stepped back and said to Piercy about the electrician. What's all that about? On page 9, Stuart Piercy, electrician. If Barbara's light bulb goes out and she calls that number, you're not really coming, are you, to change it? No, my brother is. And then he walks over to the bag and he pulls out an iron and he said, Barbara's irons buggered. He says, if you don't mend it, you ain't playing Saturday. And Piercy mended the iron and put it on his desk. So, it's madness, honestly. Madness, but genius.
Yeah.
Picked the phone up, went, call me Brian. I said, OK. He went, tell me, are you signed, sealed and delivered? I said, well, no. Would you consider coming to Nottingham Forest? I went, not really, no, Brian. Why not? I said, well, to be perfectly honest, Brian, I said, if I come back to England, and this came out really, it didn't come out how I wanted it. I said, if I come back to England, I want to come back to one of the big clubs.
Oh, dear.
And Pete Shilton buried his head in the pillow at this point. And Brian Clough went, Nottingham Forest is a big club. There's only Liverpool won more than us in the last 10 years, young man. I said, and I'm from Leicester. I said, it's down the road. I said, Forest is really difficult, if you understand me. He went, no, I don't. Call me Mr. Clough. And bang the phone down.
Experience with Brian Clough was... Micah won't remember that the old Zenith Data Systems Cup final, Southampton v.
Is that as big as the Tourmoor?
No, not quite as big. We got beaten that as well. I was standing in the tunnel. I was, 18-year-old boy, just got in a year or so into the Southampton first team. We're standing in the tunnel, ready to come out at Wembley, and I feel this almighty fucking. Someone comes right into the back of me, and I look around. It's him. It's Brian Clough has come in and he's booted me. He's just booted me in the tunnel.
he was well known for doing that.
Honestly, he just come straight into the back of my calves, and he went, "You're a danger man. I want to take you out." I thought, what on earth is going on? I'm standing at Wembley, and their manager comes into the back of me.
Yeah.
I knock on the door, give him the towel. When's your contract up? I said, end of the season. Would you like a new one? So I said, well, I'd love one. He said, come and see me Monday morning and I'll give you a new contract. So I go and see him Monday morning, knock on the door, walk in. I said, morning, boss. He goes, what can I do for you? So I said, you've told me to come and see you about signing a new contract. Don't remember that one, son. I goes, well, you did. He goes, have a seat. So I sit down, and he puts the contract on the table. And he said, sign that. I goes, I can't sign that. Why can't you sign it? I said, it's blank. I'll fill it in, son.